Hey everybody, it's Dave and Olive. Thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. We talk a lot of fantasy, horror, sci-fi, graphic novels, but we also mix it up with other kinds of fiction and non-fiction as well. Today we're here for another special book haul, but before we get started, if you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you get notified the next time we upload another video. Okay, so we're here to do another special book haul because we went to another special place where we got books. We live in Connecticut, and near us every year there's this massive book fair called the Pequot Library Book Fair. And people come from all over. It's a well-known fair, and it's outside under all these tents. As you can see from this video, I'll give you a little bit of an idea what it looks like. So this is the annual Pequot Library Book Fair. Actually happened 5-6 weeks ago. I'm very late getting this up, but it's named after the Pequot Library, which is right there. Over the course of the year, they collect donations from all over and curate and price the books to get them ready for the fair. As you can see, they put these signs up to show what's where. Some books are in the auditorium, certain categories like rare books, and then they have the small tent and the big tent that they divide the other categories into. This is the small tent here. This is the big tent we're walking into. As you can see, they've got everything organized into all these different categories. This is actually discount day, Monday, so some of it's been picked kind of clean. But if you were to walk in on Saturday, all these tables would be absolutely filled, boxes underneath filled up, just tons and tons of books. Now it's been going all weekend, so some of it's gone, but you could literally spend all day sifting through these books. We're looking back now at the small tent, and they actually have other things here, so like DVDs and things, but also more categories. So we go every year unless we're not around, and we always get great deals on books. I usually go, it's a staggered thing, and I usually go over the weekend, which is like when all the books are like normal price, which are they're discounted prices. But we were away this year, so I wasn't home until the Monday. So we actually went on super discount day. So all these books, which are almost all like hardcover books and oversized paperbacks and everything, they were like $1. Like a mass market paperback, I think it was like 50 cents. So we picked up a bunch of stuff, and we'll jump into it here. First, we got some sort of fantasy sci-fi stuff. First one we picked up, which was really cool, is Bats of the Republic by Zachary Thomas Dodson. Now, I'd never heard of this book, and this is actually an advanced reader copy, but it looks pretty wild. It's told in it's set in like the 1843, and someone is supposed to be bringing a letter to a general in the middle of the war in Texas, and they get distracted by like the whole swarm of bats or something, and I don't know if that changes like what happens going forward in the future, but then I think the book kind of goes back and forth. Then it's like hundreds of years later, and there's this dystopian society, and I think not much of humanity left. And what are you doing, Olive? I think Olive's had enough of these videos lately. And it's told with all these sort of like letters and illustrations and things. I think it's like correspondence back and forth between people, and I don't know. I don't even know really all that's about, but it looked highly unusual. If you read this or heard of this book, let me comment. Let me know what you know about it. I grabbed it. I'm trying to figure out whether it's worth the investment anytime soon to read this one. We also picked up The Passage by Justin Cronin. This one's, it's modern day virus vampire story. Probably everybody knows. It's the first one in a trilogy. It's a pretty long book, so it's on my extended TBR. Has been for a while, but there's a box, so I figured I'd grab it. We get to it. Picked up this cool one, Isaac Asimov's it's an illustrated novel, History of Robots. Looked pretty cool. Very quick read, obviously, lots of illustrations, and looked pretty neat. What's the matter, Olive? You want to come back up? Okay, sorry. You're the one that got down. All right. Then I picked up A Time of Dread, John Gwynne. This is the second trilogy, the Faithful and the Fallen, the Malice books, which we are going to read. We haven't read any of them yet. We're going to read them. So we'll eventually get to this one as the first book in the second trilogy. So not something I would have bought now, but for $1 in good condition, so picked it up. Then we picked up this, K-Zine, the magazine of SF horror, fantasy, and crime short fiction. I'd never heard of this before, so grabbed it, see what it was about. We picked up Liar's Key by Mark Lawrence. This is book 2 in the Red Queen's War, but hoping to get to that eventually. So this is probably like 50 cents, so we just grabbed it so that we have it when we finally get to that. Found a nice old hardcover copy of Isaac Asimov's Foundation and Earth. This is the 5th. I'm going through these quickly because there's a bunch, so otherwise we won't get through it. This is the 5th book in the Foundation trilogy. In the Foundation series. Love these books. I actually need to read them again because it's been a long time since I read them. But whenever I see like old hard copy version of one of them, that's in good condition, I grab it. And also picked up Foundation's Triumph by David Brin. And this is part of what's sometimes referred to as the second Foundation trilogy, or is that the other? Yeah, the second Foundation trilogy, which is some Foundation-based books that were written by some other big-time authors. Gregory Benford wrote one, Greg Bear wrote one, and David Brin wrote this one. We picked up High Druid of Shannara by Terry Brooks. This, same thing, we actually haven't read any of the Shannara books yet, but we plan to eventually. And so I just, if I see a discounted, nice hardcover copy of a Shannara book, I'll grab it. So we have a few of them now, trying to just put together a collection of the books so that we can eventually read them when we complete that collection. Then I picked up this set of sci-fi books by Ben Bova, Moonrise. And the sequel, Moonwar. 2 just perfect perfect condition library copies of these, $1 each. And then, whoa. And then, we got a few science books. We got this book, which I hadn't heard of, Remarkable Creatures by Sean B. Carroll. I'd heard of Sean B. Carroll, not to be confused with the other Sean Carroll, who's the well-known theoretical physicist and cosmologist that has written some pretty popular science books. This is Sean B. Carroll, who's a biologist or naturalist, and he's written a number of books. I hadn't seen this one before. It's Remarkable Creatures, Epic Adventures in the Search for the Origin of Species. And this one follows I think it follows several different groups of people. It follows Darwin and his contemporaries, and it follows a couple different groups of people over time, and to tell the story of how we rapidly learned so much information about the origin of different species. I picked up Science in the Soul by Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is, famous, probably the most famous naturalist, biologist today. He's written a bunch of books, popularized this area of science, and written a number of things by him. He wrote the famous book, The Selfish Gene, and this is a collection of his essays. So pick this up. How I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming by Mike Brown. This is by Mike Brown, is the astronomer or astrophysicist, whatever, that basically started the, as you may have heard, Pluto was demoted and is no longer a planet for various reasons, and he's the one that is often blamed for that, for starting that whole thing. Brief Answers to Big Questions by Stephen Hawking. I assume everybody knows who Stephen Hawking is, and this is like it sounds. It covers 10 basic, short little pieces on 10 basic things, like, is there a God? Is there intelligent life in the universe? What is inside a black hole? Is time travel possible? That sort of thing. So, seemed like quick, easy read. This is an older book, the First 3 Minutes, by Steven Weinberg. Steven Weinberg, famous physicist, and this basically talks about the first 3 minutes after basically what happened like immediately. A lot happened like immediately after the Big Bang, and that's what this is about. And then the last science book we got was The Diversity of Life by Edward O. Wilson. Another well-known naturalist or biologist, whatever you want to, whatever the term is used. And so that was it. That was a lot. Usually we go to this book fair, and I don't leave because I run out of things to get. I leave when I can't carry anything more. Usually they're packed. You usually have to park really far away. It's always at the end of July, so it's hot. And so literally I bring a bag, and I'll fill up the bag, and I fill up my arm, and when I can't carry anymore, that's when I leave. I could be there for 2 days straight and come out with carts of books. So that was all we got, and that's everything. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get notified the next time Olive says it's okay for us to upload another video. We'll see you soon, but in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.